Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Disruption Podcast. I'm your host, Noor. What's up?
It's my Weezy.
What the heck, bro?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
It's Chief All Sergeant building, baby.
Yeah, and you got the prince in there.
Why did you do that?
Why not?
No.
Exactly. I wanted to go second.
Remix.
Changing
Some
things
different,
up.
bro. Some different,
Time
bro.
for a change in this world and in this podcast. I'm
Repetition
going
is
second
boring.
From now on.
Repetition is boring, bro. I'm telling you, man.
All right, we're just gonna have to start this episode again. Fast.
I don't know what happened with everybody.
Yeah.
Have you prayed today?
Oh man, yeah. What?
I don't know. I saw your screensaver. It says pray.
Oh yeah, no. I actually really like
It's a reminder for you or what?
I just like the way it looks, but it is good to look at and remember. Did you pray today? So, yeah.
That's good.
How you guys doing, mine?
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Why this guy looks like such a happy little?
He's
Looks like such a
cheesing
happy little
hard.
kid, bro.
I don't know.
Who made you happy this week?
I don't know. You guys, I don't know. It's been a while. You dig what I'm saying?
It's the first time you've seen us, so I mean.
Yeah,
Which makes
that's
sense.
the point. Like,
No, I thought like
Tried something.
I thought you was Daniel.
Bro, my whole mic fell off the set.
Wow.
Bro, this episode is in
That's what you
shambles,
get.
man.
How we gonna celebrate episode 50?
50. Whoa, we got balloons in the background, food,
bro,
champagne.
and we have the confidence to say, we'll see you guys at episode 100.
Cats can't even make it past 51, bro.
Well,
Ah, mate.
Even the jokes suck today.
Oh, boy. Nah, come on, bro. That's rude. Hey, man. How was it feeling though, post 50, man? How'd you guys think the love was that we got?
Oh, the love was nice.
It was dope,
Nice.
yeah?
Yes,
The
it
numbers were
was.
cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys,
People
man.
comedy is appreciated.
No, thank you guys again. And people were just sending bare messages, eh? That's lit.
honestly, I got a few messages from people that I wouldn't even have thought they were listening, and they were like, "Oh, you know, I've been following this whole time. Congratulations!" I'm like, I love it. Love the love.
That's lit, man.
You know, like I was
Yeah.
actually thinking about that because we know, like I think I know about 10, 15 of people that are regularly. I think they listen, but then I was like looking at our numbers and I'm like, that means there's a solid across like all platforms at least like 200 or so
That
I'm
you
like,
don't know,
Who
yeah?
is this?
Yeah,
Well,
that
like,
is
at least I
true.
don't know who they are. I might
yeah.
know them, but yeah.
Nah, that's lit, man.
Nah, I love it, man.
It's growing.
It's awesome.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everybody.
guys.
Mad love throughout the whole week.
Hello.
There's a lot that's
From
going
that
on
app.
this week as well. Do you guys see like
Basically
this?
just told
Hello?
Carlos to shut up.
Yep. I feel like it's been a long intro at this point.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
nah.
nature?
What are you saying? What are you saying?
I feel like a lot went on this week. Do you guys kind of feel like the whole protest and stuff, it's over? Like the posting on Instagram?
Like it's dying down.
It's dying down, yeah?
Yeah.
It's dying or is it already dead?
Not really.
I think it's dying.
down. Yeah.
Protests in terms of the physical protests are not being shown as much because
Okay,
there's
yeah.
probably not really that many protests
The
happening
news were probably also like, okay, it's not really getting many clicks
anymore now. Yeah. Like there's not more grab attention anymore. But people are still actively posting
Yeah.
and sharing stories, and it's like no one's unbacking down.
I
It's
think
relentless.
this is the nice point where I was talking to a friend about this, and it's like this is where you start going like you mix it into your everyday life. So
Yeah,
it's like this
yeah.
isn't just an issue for now. This is an issue that is part of everyday. Because I was saying to this person that was like, it feels like about a week and a half ago, it felt like rude if you post anything else on your story.
yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
like I can't laugh, I can't whatever.
Yeah, you
It's
can't
like-
post like jokes
it's like,
and all
yes,
that.
I
yeah.
can't breathe. And it's like, but that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow.
It should
Sorry, I
be-
just realized that was a terrible.
No, but it makes
Like-
no. It worked.
Yeah.
It worked, bro. I see how it's like now. It should be a situation of you're living your life, but there's
Yeah.
still that awareness and
Oh,
constant
what's going on?
Yeah.
aim to act kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
And that's where I see people at. It's like people are doing their little, you know, what I mean, living
but
their life still.
It's nice when it's like you click on the 8 stories and it's like, dinner, brunch, whatever. Like, okay, something about Black Lives. Something about this.
Are we just gonna act like that 8 stories thing is normal? Did it? That just came
Wait, what
randomly
story?
to me.
8 stories.
Yeah, there's like 8 stories on the thing now. It doesn't like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, on IG. I mean, just see how there's 4 stories on top, then there's 4. Bruh,
No.
you guys made me look like I'm going crazy.
No, we
I don't know what you're talking about.
Let me show you.
Is that a new update or
Bro,
something?
I leave it. I
Why
leave
that?
Instagram for this.
Oh, there's 6 on that.
That's
but on
you.
mine- No, but that's not that.
I've
Look,
never seen that in my
I've not
life.
seen it either.
really, look at that.
Nah, stupid.
And then it's like,
Ew.
Wait,
That's-
why though?
Yeah, that way. Well, yeah, that's.
Is this so you can see
I don't
now?
even know. I forgot
out
that
of here.
There's probably someone on my screen as I'm trying to show it to the thing, man. But
Bro,
whatever.
hey, like that. That's
Get out of here.
That's disgusting.
Anyways, hey,
bro.
if you guys know what I'm talking about, then
I
drop in
did
the
see
comments.
they updated it. You know how for a while they had made the DMs that
At the
thing.
top
Now it's at
corner.
the
I
bottom.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I preferred that.
Where is it now?
I didn't
At the
like that. Just seemed out of the
I
way.
sorry, wait. What is it?
It's nice
at the top
The
right
love now
corner.
is there.
Yeah, I
Now the
like
love part's
where
there.
they had changed it to. I don't like what because they went backwards now.
Yeah. What
At
do you
least,
mean?
at
back-
least on my phone.
So then wait, now it's the
now,
bottom right.
Now again, it's in the
at the bottom?
shoot. I don't know. It's over there. Yeah.
Hey, forget about. But yeah, what's been going on, man? What has been happening? There has been
Juicy Smollett round
Juicy Smollett. Was that last week or like recently?
two. Yeah,
isn't
no,
it?
that was last week.
Damn,
yeah.
you're right. A lot has happened.
Yeah. So
Yeah, give him back.
if you are unaware, the NASCAR in America, they've got a driver called Bubba Wallace, who's their only black driver, but like he's half black, yeah.
Yeah, something.
And
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's weird to me that the only black guy in
Name.
NASCAR is called Bubba.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it's the whitest name ever, right? But anyway, so it's like they had a whole thing of getting rid of the Confederate flag, and just fair enough. Like, I mean, it's just I don't know why they fight for that one so hard,
Yeah.
as if it's anything. But they got rid of it, all this stuff, and then someone put a noose allegedly in his garage or like his team's garage, and that was like, oh my gosh, what the heck? And then they had that whole really nice walk in the
Like
circuit,
everyone
the
was
track,
walking with
yeah,
them
like
in there, yeah.
all the
In standing, what
drivers
do they
came.
call it when you stand with people? When you stand together, bruv. Standing in unison, walking together and all that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Making
they
a
all
statement.
showed up for that, except obviously that one guy who's never won a race in his life and
That decided,
decided
"I'm gonna
quit. And then, like a couple of days later, the FBI obviously were asked to launch an investigation into
Yep.
the whole news situation. Damn. And it turns out it was not true.
What's not true?
Like the noose.
So what's
Is
a
it a
noose,
noose?
for those who don't know what a noose
Yes.
is?
All right.
The rope.
Okay. Obviously. So a noose is the knot of rope that was used to lynch black people back in the day, and allegedly they found one in his garage as well. And then the pictures came out, and it's kind of like it's tied in a noose, but it's a very small one that like you obviously couldn't put a human neck through, and it was clearly for a different purpose. And apparently it's been there like the whole time, kind of thing, right? And so I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this whole situation anymore because
No, wait. Yeah.
because my thing is when organizations also start like forcing people to behave a certain way, right? So I wonder
Explain as in-
how many of those other NASCAR drivers, let's say, maybe they had a different opinion. No, I'm not saying they're racist. I'm just saying, what if they had a different opinion, right? Not about like, again, if you just hear, someone put a noose, like, fine, I'm gonna
Like,
come
whoa,
march with you, like whatever. But what if for whatever reason they were like this or that, and then they were threatened, you know what, if you don't march, we won't let you drive. Yeah. And then you find out it's this. So, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder.
It's defeating purposes. at that
Exactly.
point.
It's just, it gets really weird and murky and
What I'm
nonsense.
trying to figure out is, did no one else go in and have a look at the thing, or
So I
Yeah,
think the
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is, so that it was in the garage where they parked their cars and stuff, and they were saying that noose was in there since last year December,
Yeah.
so something like that, and he had been placed to be put into that garage a few days before, so no one knows what garage they're being put in, right? So they said that 2 days before he was assigned to this garage, so he's just new to the garage. He came in and he saw it, so it's been there.
but then
for a
also
while.
as well,
Damn.
imagine
That's-
everyone that could have been assigned.
I know.
Yeah.
I can see how, I can see how
Why does everything sound so fishy, bro?
yeah, I can see how the whole thing's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
uncomfortable and
Yeah.
like whatever. But I don't know. It's just weird now that because he's doing the whole thing of like he's literally doing the Jussie Smollett thing.
The
where he's
Juicy
like,
Smollett.
Juicy Smollett thing. Shout out to Dave Chappelle.
I lost that. He lost the name.
Bro, you know, the French one. The first one.
Wait, but was it ever proven that he was lying?
Juicy
It
Smollett.
wasn't
or-
proven,
Wait,
was it?
hey, what happened-
Yeah,
hey,
because
what-
he's
No,
still
it
fighting.
was okay. So I'm
He's
saying
still fighting
this
them,
guy
yeah.
Bubba's doing the exact same thing where he goes like, "No, I'm telling the truth. You're testing my character," because that's exactly what Jussie Smollett did, right? And it's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure at this point, like, you
Did
know,
they have
what I
like
mean?
text
That's
and
a
that?
Yeah.
It's just a still going with the whole.
He said juicy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna call it juicy now.
Juicy from now.
Juicy.
But I think you raised the question
Juicy's
from that though.
perfect for his character.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how he was on Empire.
Dave Chappelle's rude, bro. Yeah, you raised the question that you had from that though, in terms of accusations. and-
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
what's
were
the-
asking.
what's the question from that?
I don't know. What was my question?
You said, should people be charged for fake racism accusations?
For fake racism.
Yeah. No,
Did I write that?
Yeah, as
I
in
like
like
that topic.
Fake racism.
That's crazy.
Yes,
If you've said something, action has been taken.
Because-
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, go.
Alright, let's hear it.
Like, for example, in my opinion, rape is like the most disgusting crime, right? In my opinion.
Yep.
Because there's never a reason for it. Like, murder is obviously disgusting, but I was thinking about this week, sorry. Like, let's just...
Side note.
Side note, right? I can comfortably say, and like all of us could comfortably say, I will never rape anyone in my life. That's it.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But none of us can comfortably say I will never kill anyone in my life.
I mean,
I
I can
comfortably
say that.
that.
But what if but what if your life's being threatened?
Got mad quiet.
Yeah, see? So I was thinking about this, right? And then like so anyway, that was just a side note. But like so that's why I think rape is the most disgusting crime. But then equally disgusting because of how disgusting I view that crime, when I see fake claims, I'm like, you need to be punished for that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's dangerous. That's a dangerous thing to put on someone's character, right?
And even diminishing people who actually are,
Right.
facing that situation.
Exactly,
as well. So
right?
it's pretty.
And then sort of in that line, because I think racism is a disgusting thing, it's a very serious accusation. So it's like if you put that on people but it hasn't happened, that's also very disgusting.
Yeah, that's madness right there.
I wonder about how much you can, in terms of within the law, how much can you prosecute someone for that? Canceling them is probably the most that can probably happen in that kind of.
But to be honest, in that situation, canceling someone is big enough, bro.
Canceling is a lot because especially when it comes to fame and stuff, it's like
Yeah,
you're losing money, you're losing
Yeah.
your future.
Yeah.
Like,
Sponsors and all, bro.
it's
you
not
lose
even
big
like,
things,
oh,
bro.
okay, I'm not going to be able to do this movie.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not going to be able to do any movie.
Anything, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then if that's not real, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know, because okay, so I know with Jussie Smollett,
Juicy,
yeah,
Smollett, he's being like fined or whatever by the police and all of that
Chicago.
for
Oh, yeah,
like
because
you
they
know
said they're wasting their time.
yeah,
Yeah.
wasting time, resources, and all
Fair
of that.
enough.
I feel like when it comes to like telling someone whether their experience or so of racism is correct or not, you can't really put like
It's not even a matter of correct though. It's about is
Yeah,
it true?
it's-
Did it happen?
yeah,
Bro, but
I mean,
the story sounded fishy. 2 a.m.
It does, but
his
if you-
one,
you know-
sorry,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
you go.
But I mean, like, okay, in his defense, Baba, right? He probably didn't know that rope was there, the noose was there, you know, months before.
Bubba Fiend.
Stop it.
Look at the Arabs.
In his case, well, clearly he didn't know that it was there because he straight away jumped to conclusions. He's like, oh, I've been moved into this new garage.
Whoa.
And someone just put like a noose in there. No one explained to him or no one told him that, hey, it's been there for
But
a
it is
while.
mad. It
no
is
one
mad.
explained it.
I get it. I get it.
But like that's his experience because he's a black man, half
Yeah,
black,
yeah.
whatever it is, you know. He's like, okay, this
like,
is
what the heck?
Yeah, to him straight away, especially in all that's going on
Yeah,
right
yeah.
now. You know, black people are being
especially
you know,
in quite a racist, like a sport that's
sport
loved
as
by
well.
a lot of racist
yeah,
states.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, like, that's just one example
Okay.
of like how things can
But
go
do
wrong.
you think, like, for example, for him, he should drop the push once they're like, oh, okay, it's not legit.
Like what you did?
Yeah, like as in at this point, it's like it's been
after
proven that
yeah.
it wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Do you think he should then go, oh, okay, fair enough, misunderstanding, but you can understand how I felt?
But
that
no
way.
one does
That's
that.
probably
Yeah,
the best thing
that's-
to do.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the best thing to
yeah.
do. You guys understand how I felt. I understand how
Yeah.
maybe I interpreted it wrong, but you see
Yeah.
what's
But
going
To be
on.
honest,
current
I don't
climate,
think anyone
etc.
does that. I don't think anyone says, "Oh, you guys, my bad." You know,
How can you apologize?
you can't because
without being
it's
forced to in the public eye. How many
that's
times
what
has
I
that
think
ever
because
happened?
now it's almost like I'm apologizing because how we see it as the audience is like they forced you to apologize.
Not even in that instance, though, is it? Because that's just like
Yeah.
genuinely like, oh snap.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. I think we should be like, oh snap, hey, you know, I messed up. But I think everyone is like the ego and everything's like,
That's
yo,
where
I think I pushed this a bit too far.
That was too late. Too late to turn back, isn't it?
But the guy said, I swear I didn't do it.
But then with like
too late.
Juicy's situation,
You
yeah,
see,
like I know I agree with what you're saying about like you can't tell someone how to feel,
Yeah.
right? Like if I push Daniel and he's like that hurt me, I can't be like no it didn't, right? Like
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense. But with his situation, he was like this happened to me by some white KKK
And they yelled out
racist, whatever.
this and
and then
that,
it's like you've got all these text receipts to two big Nigerian fellas to do.
They
this
gotta be
to-
Nigerian, bro. When I saw that, that was the most annoying part for me.
Your people.
It's kind of like
Come on, man.
but you know what I mean. So it's
Bro.
like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like now I think it's fair to go. Sorry, your recount of the story is not true and
Yeah.
probably not racist in its motivation. I think that's fair, but
Yeah.
see,
As soon as I heard the two Nigerian guys, I'm like,
His one is just a whole mess, to be
a
honest.
bit too
It's a whole
juicy.
mess.
just weird.
Yeah.
Juicy, isn't it? But no, there was something else that was going on this week, man.
damn it, Josie. Yeah, yeah.
So in life, like, so man, it's crazy how, bruh, it started off with seeing all these protests and things go on, but the ripple effect of all of that into different streams of life and showbiz and work is crazy.
Yeah.
So like now, we're seeing a whole lot of like companies putting out statements and changing this, changing that.
Aunt Jemima's.
You know
Uncle
what I
Ben's.
mean? Oh yeah, wait. I didn't. What was going on with that?
Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben's. I think they're gonna get rid of the whole Aunt Jemima brand or something like that, and then they're gonna rebrand Uncle Ben's or something like that. I don't know.
Damn.
But like,
I
you can-
saw that somewhere. Yeah.
but like, yeah, like the fact that all these companies are changing things. But then another thing that we were seeing was how a lot of these like Caucasian and white actresses, actors who either actually most of them is that they voice black characters on
Yeah.
TV shows.
Yeah.
So for example, Jenny Slate, she.
He was like, "What's her name?"
Jenny Slate, she voices Missy on Big Mouth. Crazy, interesting show. But
It's a very weird show.
Interesting
I
show.
really enjoyed it. Like while I was
Big
watching
Mouth.
the first season, and then
You're
I,
like,
then
whoa.
and then I stopped and I was like, "Wait a minute, these kids are 13."
yeah, it's
I don't wanna watch
madness.
this
Yeah,
anymore.
it's madness, man. But she's like,
Madness.
she's not black, obviously.
Yeah.
But she's voicing a black character on
Yeah.
the show. And then there was another show, something else I saw. I think it was the man who voices. I don't know what the guy's name is, but on
Apu on The Simpsons.
Oh wow, I didn't see that one. But there was even something about. I think it was either Family Guy or Cleveland Show or something.
Cleveland Show.
Yeah.
Show.
Or he does Cleveland's voice.
So he voices, and he's not a black man as well. Yeah. So yeah, it's like
Damn, he sounded kind of black.
So basically,
though.
all those people step down from their roles, and they're like, "I want a colored person to do it."
to take it.
How do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. I don't think
Do
it's
you
that
care?
deep, low key. Like I don't think it's that deep to be like,
I agree.
I think you're kind of right because in that instance, yeah, the black skin doesn't equal the voice that is coming out. If you guys
Although,
get me.
do you? Because it's kind of hard because they're playing voices a lot. Also,
a character
Also,
that-
the other thing is that a lot of these people play a lot of voices. So,
Yeah.
like for example, on The Simpsons, what's her name? Nancy Cartwright,
one
who
that
does
does Bart, yeah.
Bart's voice. She does. Whoa, oh my gosh. She does like 30 voices across the whole city of Springfield or something like that.
Whoa. Yeah.
So it's like she does heaps and heaps of them.
Yeah.
And like most of the main people do, right? So yeah, how do you feel about that whole thing? Because for me, I'm kind of like,
like I mean, like
I'm on
care.
both. I'm on both sides of it because I do like how it's.
oh, sorry, this is what I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say is
go.
that a lot with like for example, Apu, on The Simpsons. I don't know. You guys probably haven't watched it, right? Like, I think you didn't watch Simpsons growing up.
No, but I know I poo.
Okay.
no, who doesn't know who?
Okay. So it's a very like stereotypical Indian
Yeah, that's
accent
the
and all
thing.
that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
right? So I can see where people, if they want to be
That's true.
precious, get a little bit offended about
No,
it.
that kind of makes sense.
Because
It's
like, you're playing on that stereotype,
yeah,
or
yeah.
the Asian ones. It's like the very like.
That is the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
yeah,
are
true.
playing on the stereotypes, but then it doesn't even make it right if the person is from that culture still playing on the stereotypes as well.
Yeah.
So it makes it a little bit more acceptable, but it's still not right because they're still playing
'cause
stereotypes.
think about it,
It's just that they got a leg up to be able to play the
Yeah.
Because think
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah.
if it's a African American, but then they have to put on like an African accent.
It's not real either.
Yeah, that's not
Well,
you.
that's what a lot of
Yeah.
Black Americans say. They're like, we're not African.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
this point.
They have to put on this accent, and then it's like, well, that's not them. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm on both sides. I was like, one, it's not that deep quotation, yeah, but it's also how it's like, why not just get the people from?
Tiffany Haddish
I-
played a parrot on some show.
So we should probably get a parrot to maybe a parrot should voice that one instead.
Because that's my thing. Also, it's like for me, I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't feel like it does right. Like if I hear an Arab, for example, but then it's also okay. Is it gonna work? The only way this works is if everyone only plays what they
what they are.
But then now
Right.
it's like, what do you really? What's
But
the
then-
what's
yeah.
the what's the skill here?
But
What's
that-
the you know what I
that's
mean?
the thing.
Where's
That's like, where's the artistry in
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
As in, how are you a talented voice actor now, or something
Yeah,
like that?
if you could only play-
when
Yeah,
you're just
yeah,
talking
yeah.
normally?
like literally, like for
Yeah.
example, there's a mob boss in The Simpsons, right? Fat Tony, and it's like I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he's played by Nancy Cartwright as well. And it's like
That's
Wow.
typical,
yeah.
That's talented.
typical voice, like yeah. So when I think
Yeah.
of her, I'm like, oh, that's actually super talented. I don't go, oh my god, you racist, like
Yeah,
why do you
yeah,
do
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
voices, right? But it's like I don't know. I think it's kind of tricky because at the same time, like then are people gonna be equally offended at Regina Hall when she did all the voices on the Boondocks?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah, she meant
Right? Because
What a
I don't know if she
The
did.
goat, bro.
What's the white dude's name?
White dude or white girl?
The one that's
woman.
married to the white girl.
You mean Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
she
like-
did that.
He's a pretty white voice.
Like if she
Wait,
killed
Regina,
that,
Yeah.
Regina did that
I think she did that.
because
She
she
did that,
did that.
that's
That's
class. Yeah, yeah.
madness.
that's what.
Because when we're watching it, like you can't even tell who's
That's what I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
behind it
You're just
anyway.
seeing-
So who
it's
cares?
just the
Kind
character
of
at
thing.
this point. It's the voice.
Yeah,
I
it's
think,
the character.
I
yeah.
think it's not. Okay, this is what I was gonna say. Is it virtue signaling? Doing all these kind of things? I love that word.
He
now,
loves
bro.
it.
I'm like, big man,
signaling.
big man. You know what I
Big man
mean?
thing.
Vocabulary and that lingual syntax.
Bro, a word that starts with V. Oh my gosh, amazing.
Oh yeah, sorry. I was like, I thought it was roasting me, bro.
No, like since when?
Getting a bit
Other than
offended.
Very,
bro. Yeah,
nothing.
virtual signaling. Nah. But like, yeah, is it that? And it's kind of like I was gonna play what Kevin on stage was saying. It's not the
You're
it's-
giving everything that we
that,
don't
that-
want.
That's not
Yeah.
even want, but not needed.
Yeah.
because it would be cool for representation in these places, and you know what I mean in terms of like you representation across like executive decision and that kind of stuff, but also just that you're able to play yourself, play your character.
I think the other thing is like when you keep trying to, it's so hard because for me, stereotypes, there are good stereotypes. Like there are stereotypes that I feel like aren't racist, right? Like so, if I'm Asian and someone's like, "Oh my gosh, you're all smart," like that's not offensive.
But there's the angle of
no,
it.
but or like for example, I'm Arabic and everyone goes, "Oh, you got oil money."
yeah, but then that's what I'm saying. There's that.
Like, okay, my family doesn't have oil money.
Yeah.
Someone can just as eagerly
I was
use
like,
that.
"Oh my
in
gosh, now I couldn't live up to expectations."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah.
That's whack, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just weak to me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, everyone expected me to get A's and I got to be like, what?
But
That's what I'm saying.
I
That's
think that's
not
what it
it.
is.
Oh, I didn't come first in athletics.
Hey, no
Like,
cap, that hit me, bro.
yeah, but that's because you're lazy.
that hurt me, bro.
I think like every like
Daniel,
background
you can't play
culture.
basketball. You swim, bro. That hurt. Come on.
He's like, hey, he used to get it in high
That's
school
because of your
back.
height, though. That's because
Yeah.
of his height.
Yeah,
He's
it's
tall
like-
and doesn't play
waist, man.
sport.
But I think that's what it is. I think with like with background cultures and everything, I think everyone kind of expects you to kind of fit in that stereotype.
Yeah.
So
This is the problem with the stereotypes too, though. The fact that they're kind of true sometimes.
yeah,
I mean, what?
Devil's advocate, that's the problem.
They come for some reason.
But that's literally the problem, that people live up to the
Okay,
stereotypes.
okay. The other thing is
that's
that
so
they're,
facts, bro.
they're true according to media.
Not even.
No, no.
Even reality.
Like, no,
Yeah, I
a
don't
lot of the
think-
time, like the negative ones, especially, it's true according to what.
Oh,
media's
negative.
push.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not.
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
negative. Okay, let me ask you a
But the
question.
positive
No.
ones, or not even positive, like the ones that are just neutral. Like for example, Indians own all the corner stores.
Most times.
It's kind of true.
Most times.
But there's a lot of stereotypes behind. Okay, so example, yeah. Let me hit you with this. Yeah.
Yep,
What's black people's favorite food?
chicken.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So
And yet, when
to be honest, I'm mad. You get
But
what I'm
everyone
saying?
likes chicken though.
No.
That
Trust.
one's kinda like
We
a-
love chicken more than anybody else. It's like Dave Chappelle when he's gonna go order his food. It's like, I'll get the.
And he's acting like he doesn't- he wants something else.
He's looking at them. He's like, I get the, and then the place like the chicken. He's like, how'd you know? It was like everyone here knew you're gonna get the chicken. You know what I'm saying? So
this is the other side of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
My thing, sorry, is with that whole stereotypes is that, especially through these cartoon shows, which are normally quite neutral about these kind of topics, like they don't intend to be racist or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
Like they don't press an
unless
agenda
they're doing
kind of
it for fun, like just
Yeah.
to be funny, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is
yeah.
that's
Which
just
is, are we
comedy.
okay with that or what?
I'm personally, I'm okay with that.
Example, Boondocks episode was when the chicken ran out. Like all the
This guy.
yeah, like it went crazy. So every black person like went crazy.
Yeah.
And that was funny. So I'm like, yeah, bet.
Wait, do you remember when everyone was getting the itis?
I smoke the
We
cigarettes.
digress. We digress.
Oh man.
Yeah. So my thing is when you take those stereotypes, like for example, Simpsons, because I love the Simpsons, right? It's like you get Apu, you get Fat Tony, right? You get this person, that person, all these different people, and then it's like you kind of just celebrate it and how they all come together, right? Because when you watch the Simpsons, it's actually really, really well done. Like this show, it's like you get all these different people and how they interact daily, and how everyone goes to Apu's store, and then how everyone has to come see Tony for like money or whatever, and then how like Homer works with. It's so funny how everyone's yellow except the black guys are black. That's so true. Actually, the Asians are kind of white. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's true. Like everyone goes to someone.
You know what I mean? So it's like you just see how they all interact every single day together, and it's like, honestly, that's what society should be like.
Because in line with what I was saying in terms of stereotypes are true majority of the time, it's more what I'm saying is like cultures, and people tend to behave the same, and that traditionally gets carried down through the generation.
It doesn't
you know what
stop
I mean?
because of how like some stuff doesn't stop because of how long you've been here. Like for example, Greeks have been here forever. They are still as loud as the day they arrived.
It's
Probably.
still the culture is
just part of it.
maintained.
Yeah,
you know
they
what I
are.
mean?
Like you can't go to Oakley without hearing.
You are right, bro. You
Legit,
can't.
right?
Moe, don't worry. No, what?
Daniel Store.
I love it. Bro, if you guys haven't seen it, but like, that's the thing though. Like, but then I was going to ask the question, are these stereotypes being reinforced because of the fact that people are like, this
They
is
just
how
wanna
we
live up to it now?
this is how we behave. And then it
Is that a
cycles
problem?
around?
Is
or
that a
what?
problem?
And then I was also going to say, are we going to be okay with stereotypes being in media, in shows, if everybody gets it? Like no
if
one's safe.
all-
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
What?
If it's just everyone
it
gets
happens.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Bro, like if we
Yeah.
just make, all right,
Bro.
we always make fun of white people not knowing how to season food.
Yeah.
Or
I
Don't know how to dance.
I know
Yes.
some of them can.
We
Yeah.
you know, like you're right. Movies always, do that with
Yeah.
African American, with Asians, with Indians, with everybody. Everyone gets it.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's
like,
funny
is
for
that-
everybody.
Is that how
I think-
everyone would be happy if everyone just gets
For example, do you think it's? Have you guys watched Modern Family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
it?
All right. Do you guys think it's wrong the way Sofia Vergara plays her character as that like
That
Very
whiny,
frantic and
like
da-da-da-da-da.
South American?
But this is also the thing. Loki, what if that's Sofia Vergara? To be honest, I think that's actually. I think it's just her.
Yeah, Loki.
I think
That's just how she is.
that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's actually just her. But I can see what you're saying. Like,
Yeah.
is it wrong to? That's the thing. I think. Okay, what you said before about The Simpsons kind of highlights it. It's like there's a difference between just playing into the stereotypes and then celebrating these aspects of the cultures.
Yes.
I think is probably the best way to say it. Like,
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's the other thing that is cool because it's like what they've done with The Simpsons, for example. I remember they did an episode where Paul McCartney from the Beatles was on it, and it's like because I think he's Buddhist or he does like that whole meditation thing, and so it's like they centered it around Apu, right? Or they center it around like there's another episode of when Apu got married to his wife and like the whole Indian wedding. So it's like it actually teaches you a lot
Yeah.
about
It
these
does,
cultures
yeah.
as
which
well.
is dope. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we can't then in the attempt to be politically correct, we can't deny what is blatantly there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But it's like you wouldn't be able to go, all right, let's teach you about and what a traditional Indian wedding looks like if we go, okay, we're going to have Apu, but he's going to sound like this. Because that's what they're trying to do now,
that's
right?
facts.
Like I think 2 years ago, they're going to stop using him so much because of
Really?
that whole thing. And they're like, we're just going to make him seem very American, which is, again, really stupid because what you're saying is that you can't be
Yourself,
American
yeah. Unless
unless
you
you're...
sound like
Yeah.
which is that's counterproductive.
That's the whole problem
innit?
with political correctness.
Yeah,
is that
it's
you
just
dig
too
a
much,
hole.
bro.
Yeah, you do dig a hole. I think that's what I was. Okay, so running back
And
to
that's the problem with cancel culture. Is
Yeah.
that you Andrew Schultz killed it today, like with that whole shonking thing. It's like when you keep canceling people, eventually it's like you're gonna
when you mess up.
you're showing no grace to anyone, right? And so eventually you're gonna not live up to the standard that you set, and then people are gonna jump on you.
Yeah.
Andrew Schultz, by the way, is
He's killing it.
I reckon when it's all said and done, he's gonna be up there with Chappelle.
Bro,
Yeah, he's killing it. He's killing it.
he's killing it during what's going on right now.
Well, yeah, I think running it back. So how we started this whole conversation was about how all the white and like Caucasian and different race actors, and all that
Yes.
kind of stuff are leaving because they want proper representation, and companies are changing things. And then Kev on Stage put something out today, and this just shows how it's
Kevin who?
Kev on Stage.
Yeah.
How everyone's just. We're not fighting the right fight.
Oh no,
Yeah. So listen to this.
That's
I think we
madness.
can play.
Play the whole thing.
Yeah, we can play it. I probably won't play the whole thing, but yeah.
Are going to stop using the word master.
Let me run it
to
back.
describe- I saw this on the internet. Texas realtors are going to stop using the word master to describe the biggest bedroom. And like my boy Big Foss said, y'all giving us everything but what we asking for. All we want is for police to stop killing black people. When you kill black people, you are charged, arrested, convicted, in jail. Breonna Taylor's killers, still out there. Elijah McClain's killers, still out there. But what we have, man, no. Master's bedroom, that term is wrong. Matter of fact, let's take master's out of everything, huh? Master's degree, man, we can't call it a master's degree, man. Then what are the black people gonna think? We gotta call it a bachelor's degree supreme. You know what I'm saying? So people know it's a step above bachelor's, like a Crunchwrap Supreme, bachelor's degree supreme, man. You master chef, you got a show called Master Chef. Oh, who are they cooking for? The slave, man, that show is just chef. Now, then you got what, masturbation? That's just bation. Now, it was regular bation.
That might have to
man.
be the episode title. It's
Master
patient.
Chief, Halo, he's just a chief. man.
Bro, that's madness.
But you get what he's saying, right? Like you're having all of these. There's countless examples. I can't recall many now, but yeah, it's true. Brands and all this stuff are just doing everything.
Did you see all the
to
shows
show.
are
Yeah.
running it back? Like, so The Office, Scrubs, what's the other one? Not Parks and Rec.
Community.
Maybe it was Community. Or maybe it was Parks and Rec. I don't know. They're all going back to episodes where they've had blackface and they're removing
yeah, I've
those
seen
episodes
that.
from streaming. Like, do you think that's good?
What did they do? What I just want to know
So
what the
they had
context
some-
was for some of
I
these
think
episodes.
one of them, they were kind of like, why are you removing this? Because one of the characters did blackface, and then on the show they explained why not to do blackface
Okay, yeah.
on that episode. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. So people were kind of like, why? But I don't know.
I think with all that stuff, I think it's like, bro, what is done is done. Yeah, we just gotta move
Because a lot of
forward
it
now.
is like 10 years
Yeah.
old or something.
Yeah.
But what
Yeah.
is scary is like if you were that character 10 years ago,
Oh man, and it comes
and
up
then
now.
it comes up
yeah.
now,
Yeah, far out.
and then it's like, oh, what
And
the
now it's
heck?
this whole
Yeah.
cancel culture
So
comes
I
in as
can
well.
see why if I
But
one of us
that's-
played a
it's
character
like-
like
it's
that,
like what we said
cancel,
last time,
delete it,
though.
delete it.
And that's
this is-
happening. A lot of people. Hello.
No, we hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
I
Fine,
can't
bro.
hear anyone.
Oh, okay.
Maybe your headphones.
Oh,
are-
those headphones.
A lot of people are being forced to apologize for the things that happened a long time ago. I don't know who it was, but someone's like, oh, I'm not apologizing. Like it was, put for educational purposes. Like, why would I need to apologize for something like that? I'm not sure who it was, but I was like, you know what? Like, you're not wrong. He didn't do it just because he wanted to do it or anything like that. It was kind of like, it was on a show. I don't know what show. I actually forgot. But then, they were just like, oh, like, I can apologize for it, but
It means nothing.
Yeah, it's just like it happened, and it was a while ago as
True,
well.
man.
I think what I was gonna say is, why are the brands telling people that they're doing this? Why not just do the action because you personally believe it needs to be done and just let it be that?
That's the thing. Well, what it
because
says
how
is
does
that
it
you never
actually-
felt like you needed to do this until now.
until
So
exactly.
what you're doing is just covering.
But
your
then
ass.
again, is it the thing of like people are now being made aware because of
That's
the
also an
sensitivity as
option.
But
well?
at the same
You
time,
know what I mean?
but as a company, when you're making big moves, you gotta announce that this is the moves that you're making. So so obviously people that invest in you, invest in the company knows exactly the
Shares.
intentions of you know what I'm saying, big man things. So the people who are investing in the company kind of
Entrepreneur.
knows the direction of
Carlos said
this.
ASX.
You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
But it's like, does it seem? Because I know, like, what's her name?
I don't know.
thank-
Serena, the tennis player. Her
Yeah. Put some
partner.
respect, bro. Serena Williams. Bro.
Serena, yes.
What
she-
are the Serena?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just in case. Wait, Serena Gomez. Selena.
what?
Selena.
I was about to do that as a joke, and then I was like, wait, they won't get it.
Wait.
And then she went for it.
wait, what? How'd you go from
I
Serena?
lost my mind for a second.
Yeah,
Anyways,
you lost your
I
mind,
lost my
clearly,
mind. Her partner, husband.
I
Is
was
he a
pretty
husband
sure
now?
they're married.
Selena. You
Not
married?
There's
yes.
more holes in your argument than your jumper.
Whoa! Fashion, bro.
statement, guys. It's a fashion.
She said
statement.
Yeezy season 3, bro. Yeah,
That's
go
the
on.
one.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Selena,
he
Serena.
stepped down. Stop it. He stepped down from his company. So the CEO, obviously, and he's like,
Yes.
I'm going to give my seat to, a black person. And his reason was, when my daughter asked me, what did I do? this is going to be his explanation pretty much. Like, I stepped
Do
down.
you think
to
that's
give-
important?
No.
I was thinking, I was like,
No. That's
whack.
If this company is actively in the black community or it's
His company's Reddit.
Yeah, that's the company.
wait, word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, she married a billionaire. She like
No, but yeah, but that
What a clutch.
Wait,
honestly,
wait,
yeah,
Selena married.
he's Armenian, yeah. So
I just want to
I
know.
was thinking about that whole thing. Instead of you stepping down, why don't you hire 20 people?
Yeah, exactly. He could have done something literally, because now it's like, okay, you're gonna put one person, a black person CEO. It's like, or he could have, used his company, the money that he has to
Yeah, why not
actually like
invest
into the community.
Daddy, what did you do? I built a school.
and do-
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like literally, like that whole thing to me, I was like, also, the reason why it's just stupid is because you're still the owner.
yeah,
Like,
that is true.
all right, if it's such a big deal, sell it, give all the money to the black community. Like, if,
Yeah,
if
that
that's
is-
Bro,
really,
he's gonna be like, well, hold on. Hey.
Why are you coming fast?
I'm not ready for that yet.
get out of here. I don't, but yeah, that kind of stuff, I'm like, you're just doing something that's gonna make people go, good guy. And then when you really think about it, you're like, why would you do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it doesn't do like, you've done a great thing for one black person.
Exactly.
I think what it's made me realize with all this is like, people, man, I realized, bro, a lot of these issues that go on are so polarizing, right? And everyone's hot and angry and emotional. But man, we can get distracted easy and quick with this. You know what I mean? Like, you really are just gonna be triggered by this, triggered by that, happy about this happening.
Yeah.
Focus on this issue. But where's the direction in that instance at that point?
But it's hard when you live in a world where everything's happening all at once.
That's what I'm saying. Now people need to get strategic and focused with
It's
what are you trying to fight in your life? Any issue, not even just specifically about what's been going on, but just anything at this point. Like, man, it made me realize, bro, you can't just take the peanuts and crumbs that people give you to make you feel good in this instance, or you can't be swayed by this happening now. You actually need to know, what are you trying to focus and achieve on.
That's the thing. It's also, you see people that get so excited or angry about a celebrity tweeting or not tweeting about things, right? And it's like you saw that whole situation with J. Cole and No Name.
To me, I was like, what?
What's going on?
And then it was like, he replied and over a song, which is like, I don't know, fair enough.
And then people are like, I think.
And then she
I
replied
think
over a
with
song, it's like,
Charlamagne,
it's fine. I don't really care any of it, but it's just like,
Charlamagne was like, I think he made a caption that's like, J. Cole's not the leader that we thought.
which I like what J. Cole said, because J. Cole's like, I'm not the leader you think I am.
I was like, madness. I was just like, bro, let the man them do him, bro. Now, like, we're focusing on the wrong thing. We're focusing on J. Cole.
It's crazy as well, because it's like I think her tweet originally was like, they're not out marching, right? But the two that she was clearly talking about was Kendrick and Cole. It's like there was many photos of them out marching.
Them out, yeah.
Right? And it's like, just because it came later than you thought, one, don't think that it means you push them to do this. But also it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
It's like, what do you?
it's kind of like what
saying?
Chappelle said on his thing recently, the 846, where he's like, don't worry about what I say. Like, you know what I mean? Like, listen to the streets.
Yeah.
It was like, at a time like this, it's like, at a time
It's
like this,
not
do we really care about
Ja
what Ja
Rule?
Rule thinks? But it's facts.
So
like,
rude.
do we care about what? I don't care about what Jay-Z thinks about what's going on, and I respect the guy.
That's the other thing, is
You know
that
what I'm
you
saying?
have to just, like, I feel like some people's characters kind of clear. Like a Jay-Z, I don't expect him to march. I do expect him to use his platform and his opportunity, and they clearly did, right? It's like, I don't know. What did Juicy Smollett say anything about
Juicy
it?
Smollett. I just wanted to say the name again, man. Oh,
Bro, I
man.
promise you,
This guy.
before we end this app, I'm gonna end it with that.
Juicy Smollett. You're trying to switch gears or what?
Switch him.
You can switch gears with me anytime you want. Was that episode 1? It was, yeah?
I remember
It was
this.
episode
What
1,
was that
wasn't it?
about?
It was about LeVar Ball.
LeVar Ball and
the news.
to Molly from ESPN.
Yeah.
Switch gears with me anytime you want.
Switch gears.
Next year, the guy was suspended. I said, what?
He just wanted to continue it.
That's crazy, man. But no, we're talking about something dope during
Hold
the
on,
week.
what happened to LeVar
snap.
Ball? Where is
Yeah, no, bro. Today or yesterday, I was thinking, I'm like, hold on, what the heck happened to this man?
I don't know, man.
Where's he been at?
But the guy was killing it. But hey,
I don't know, man.
But anyways,
Someone else, there was another celebrity I was worried about for a bit.
Hamish and Andy used to do this thing where they get you to like just call in and say a celebrity that everyone knows but no one's thought about in ages. I was like, this is so fun.
That's crazy.
Someone calls in and they're like Hillary Duff, and I was like,
whoa. No, but you know what? Okay, this is so random. This is so random right now. But I find it so lit how it's like you can deadass just do your celebrity thing, and then you're like, you know what, man? I just want to live my life now at this point. I don't even care. Rihanna, bruv. I mean, she's still doing her thing. She's like, I don't care if you guys want music.
I posted photos today.
But Rihanna's like, I'm gonna pull music out with Bryson Tiller as well, bruv. Dude.
Okay, no one really cared about Bryson.
Trust. Hey, to be honest,
Daniel's the only one that
I think you're the only one that's been asking
I
about
legit
Bryson.
hear him talk about Bryson Tiller like at least every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyways.
Hey, you gotta stop him, man.
All right, let's just switch the gears, yeah?
It's like, this is fun. No fun.
So we're talking about something this week, and I realized actually, I'm so spun by this topic because I realized it might just be the key to a lot of family dynamics and situations, to be honest, man. So we been, you know what I mean, we growing up in that, and we making serious decisions and all that kind of stuff, yeah. So it's like, look at these.
Ow.
Anyways, you know what I mean? We're making big decisions in our life at this point, and we realized, obviously, we can educate ourselves to, look at this guy sitting all straight now, right? Yeah, we realize, you know, we can educate ourselves to some degree, search the internet, all that kind of stuff. But generally, our parents have been through this, are doing these things.
They have lived.
They have lived, you know what I mean? They're educated in this, well-versed. So we've been talking to our parents a lot recently about what's the go? How do you navigate this area, blah, blah, blah. And we're driving back from somewhere, and we raised something that was interesting as, let me just find the... So we're talking about, like, is there this mentality how, especially on this side of the world, Western culture, where your parents parent you up until 18, even sometimes as young as 16.
Send it.
Yeah, and then it's like after
Don't
that.
talk to me, mom.
Because, okay, it's not even that they make a mental decision to stop parenting you, but independence gets introduced because you're growing up, you start working now at this point, you go to university, you're thinking about your life, all that kind of stuff, right? So you now become to lean on yourself a little bit more than you were leaning on your parents, and you're not as dependent on them.
I think that's natural.
Yeah, so that element of it is natural. But this is where the problem is, that switch that happens in our mind, it stays like that forever. In a lot of people's family dynamics, in the sense, I'll explain a bit more, how, you know, you're growing up, you start getting independent, you start working, your parents don't pay your phone bill, now you pay your phone bill, you're paying your car insurance, you're filling up your car, all that kind of stuff. Little by little, things are being introduced, you're talking about moving out, all that kind of stuff, right? And you...
Don't leave me. Don't leave me.
Carlos don't know or what?
Nah, no.
Okay, I was gonna say because you've been disconnected from the internet, but like, so yeah, you're starting to do things a lot more yourself at this point. So you're not really relying on your parents. And I realized that on this side of the world, a lot of people our age forget to go back to their parents. Like, there's not much more parenting, not much more parenting happening anymore. Like from that point where that starts to happen, your parents get relegated to wherever. And you're doing your own life. It's beautiful. To the sidelines, and you're just doing your own thing. And then we're trying to relate it back to other side, you know, where we come from, you know. Is it called Eastern, bro? Is that what people say?
I'm Middle Eastern.
But yeah, we say, well, anyways, where we come from,
world,
you know.
Essentially, that's where we come from.
Where we come from, there's this element where your parents continue to parent you. They look after your children.
They're always
They're
your parents.
still around. They're always your parents. They always have a say in this and that and that and that. And then we're like, what is that? What's going on here? Is that what the problem is? That we just forget to go back to our parents? Like, is it meant to be a cycle where you go through that independence a little bit? You're still independent, but you're involving our age, people our age. Because I'm like, what's going on with the family dynamic in a lot of situations on this side here?
But the Western world has such an obsession of, like, you always hear that thing of like, just till they're 18.
Yeah.
So I think white people, when I say Western, it's like that is their perspective on it, as far as I can see.
When you're talking about we, who are you referring to?
In terms of what was I saying about we?
Like, is that what we see? That's what, like,
so maybe not around us because we're around people like us with our kind of culture and mentality. So we see that parenting continues. Right? But a lot of people here, let's say people raised here or just born here, whatever, right? The parenting to some degree
stops.
It kind of stops. Is it? So, but then I'm also asking now at this point: is parenting a continual thing in your child's life?
I think what it is,
Supposed to be.
yeah, I think it's definitely supposed to be. But I think how parenting works, I think it's more of a cultural thing, because I think different people do it differently as well. Yeah. So I remember like last time we were talking about it, like, people in the community were just talking about, our parents and how we take care of them and so on. Yeah. But like Noah was saying, like, why people just put their parents in a nursing home and then go off do their thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, probably not everyone, but
Yeah, no. But from
Reduce it, yeah.
what I know, I'm not saying that that's bad or anything. You get what I'm saying? But from in our culture,
Bro, my dad gets insulted every time.
in all honesty,
Yeah, mine too.
I don't know any Sudanese person that's in a nursing home. Like, I actually don't know any. You get what I'm saying? Because if it's anything, what do you call it? The kids that work together, they get a nice home. That they buy their parents the home. They pay off everything. It's like, thank you for taking care of us. It's like for them to send their parents somewhere else and go visit them once a week is just unbelievable in their mind. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I say like parenting is, to an extent, it kind of goes back to culture. You've taken care of us, let me take care of you now.
Yeah, I think there's so I've been realizing this a lot because like you said, we've been having a lot of conversations with our parents like recently about all this kind of stuff, like just our growing up kind of experience and things we want to do and whatnot. And like for me, it's like, yeah, I don't know how people do that thing of like I just don't consult my parents about decisions. I don't see what they want to say, because the way I remember years ago I was talking to one of our pastors and like he was saying it's like when you're a child, your parents know everything. That's how you see them. You're like, bro, like there's nothing you don't know, right? And then you get to about
and you just take them at
bro,
at word.
like
You know
I
what
just
You take them
trust.
straight. Yeah.
And then you get to about 14 and you're like, my parents don't know anything.
Anything.
I know everything.
Yeah.
And then you get to like, I think I'm getting to this point now where I'm like, I don't think anyone knows anything. But they've just experienced more than me.
Yeah.
And so I'll trust you.
Yeah.
So it's like,
That's so true, man.
yeah. But it's like, I guess with life and stuff like that, I'm kind of like I don't know. I can't imagine getting to a point where it's like my parents are not involved. You know what I mean? Like as in they're always gonna be like, my dad's always gonna be my dad, my mom's always gonna be my mom, and it's not just gonna become a thing of like we do dinner at mom's, or we like I said, I want to know what's happening. I want you to still correct me when I'm doing things wrong.
Right.
Like I can't imagine being in a scenario where it's like that's when my dad's like, I don't discipline him anymore. Not as in discipline, but as in correct or teach. Or,
Whereas at that point of like they're grown now, they can do, because sure, they're grown now, they can do what they want, but it's like
it's still
that's
not
your
good for
child.
them.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I was reading today, Jacob at the end of his life. So it's like Genesis 49. You know when he talks to all of his sons and he like prophesies over all of them. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, this guy's old, and he's still speaking to his sons like
life.
as in he's, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's like laying hands on. He's talking to them. He's speaking into their future and stuff like that. It's like, what a shame it would be to not do that. You know what I mean? Or to not receive that from like somebody who's older, wiser, has experienced more, has stories to tell. I think that's the other thing is, because it's like I've been reading John Gray's book, Win From Within, and it's like at the end of the book, this is what he's talking about. And he's like saying like, you win like by leaving everything behind so that you die dry, right? Is what he was saying. So it's like, don't like go to the grave having left all the everything, like left all your ideas, tried everything, said everything to everyone, like that's good and constructive and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, what a shame. Like if you're the opposite, it's like you're
so full.
You're Jacob's kid, or no, like if you're in the opposite position, like you're Jacob's kid and you're like you're not around him, so you could never receive that prophecy, or you could, or like in my situation, it's like I don't ever consult my dad, and then I never end up making good decisions, or saying I never end up making better decisions, right?
Because they're informed.
I mean, like from my own perspective, I am kind of like guilty of, getting to a certain age and then kind of veering away from, you know, asking the parents, oh, what do you think of this? I'm planning on making this decision. Like growing up, right? Obviously, you have to depend on your parents. When I was in school, I wasn't able to pay my own school fees and stuff like that.
Bro, sorry, real quick. To this day, I'm like, let me ever try to say something to my parents. Bro, school fees are mad.
Yeah, it's expensive.
And they're
I
going
went to public school.
do that for four. Still there. It's still, bro, but like, that's,
Yeah,
it's
nah, it's
crazy.
mad,
It's just
yes.
crazy. It's like, sure, most times you decide to become a parent. You know what I mean? Like, what's it called?
So in public school, they have like it's like a $200 a year kind of maintenance
Sorry?
thing.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they ask you, but I'm pretty sure it's optional. Like I'm pretty sure because they never chase you up for it. Yeah, it's like if you can help us, help us.
If you can't help
I
us.
remember getting it one year and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna take this home, right? And this, like everyone around me, because my school is mostly Asian Sri Lankan, yeah, and so everyone's kind of like the same. This one guy's like, you can't do that. That's not how society. Like to be fair, the guy's right.
Yeah.
It's just
Wow.
like, far out, man. Leave us alone.
Jeez.
Well, it's crazy, man. School fees are mad. Like, bro. our
And it's
parents
every
pay
year
this
from
for us.
prep till year 12.
Year 12. But
Yeah.
That's a lot of money, and your parents all had a lot of kids.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Did your brothers go private?
they went to my school,
yeah,
so yeah.
yeah.
My
we all
God.
went, yep.
Yeah, but what are you saying?
See, I was saying, so obviously, like when we're younger, you know, we're relying on our parents for food, school fees, just like everything pretty much, right? It wasn't up until I was 15, then I started like, when I first got my first job, obviously I was making money, it was a decent amount. I wasn't like asking my mum or relying her on anything that was like money related. I was also, if I was going out to the shops,
I got
you know,
this.
I'd,
Go on,
yeah,
Mum.
yeah, I'd, you know,
Those-
buy my own
hold that.
stuff. If I was hungry, like I was able to buy my own food, you know, catch the bus wherever I wanted to go because I didn't need her
Yeah,
money for
chauffeur and
Mikey,
that.
you know. But then,
Limo.
but then when I got to, what was it? I think when I was like 18, when I started going uni and stuff, my mom had no idea at all what I was doing like in uni. Like I told her what I was studying, but she didn't know like the day-to-day uni stuff, like what was happening, you know, if I had an exam or assignments going on. It was kind of like I had my own life that I was living, but she was still there raising me in terms of, you know, still feeding me. I had a roof over my head. And it was like when it came to like, you know, friends and things that she could see, things that she knew, she was able to still raise me in that sense. But in terms of like my schooling and, you know, decisions that I would make in terms of like friends, boyfriends, whatever it is, she didn't really
Friends,
have...
boyfriends.
Yeah, hold on.
Wait. She didn't really have a say, but I think for me, it came down to my mum knew how to raise me up until a certain point. She knew exactly what to do in terms of, she knew how to work, make money and pay for my
Fundamental
school
steps and
fees.
that, yeah.
She knew how to ensure that I was fed every single day. But when it came to university and stuff like that, because she never did that.
Oh, you said
because-
like there's that limit. isn't
yeah,
it?
because she never like went
She
through.
never experienced it.
Yeah, she wasn't able.
But this goes,
I felt like she wasn't
this
able
goes back to a
to.
discussion that we did have at some point. How it's like, sure, your parents might not be going through exactly the same thing
But
you're
the
going through, but the
principles.
principles and the lessons that you can take away from their experiences can actually apply to what you're going through as well. You know what I mean?
I guess so.
So like, I think that's also now in line with the disconnect that a lot of kids may see with their parents. It's like times are changing. You don't get it, mom. You don't get it, dad. But it's like, just because they don't understand exactly where your situation is stemming from, they do have something that applies to it. So it's like starting to realize parenting also doesn't exactly always mean that they're making the decision for you at this point anymore. It's like you said, involve your parents in getting their opinion. What's the harm going to do in them giving you their
But
opinion? at that point?
this, I think this is how it goes. Yeah, like obviously for those who are close with their parents and everything, you didn't create that atmosphere. They did that.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
right.
That's very,
so
very
everything
true.
starts from your parents. Yeah. So think about it. Yeah. If you come from school and your parents never said how was school today, right? Everything starts from your parents. You don't
That's
come.
so true.
You
That's
don't
very
come
facts.
to the world and you're
Yelling,
gonna
gonna give him a bomb for that?
I don't know if
Hey,
it's going
hey.
to work, bruv.
Come
It works, it
on.
works. But you gotta say you don't come to the world, yeah. Oh, you could go there. You don't come to the world and you create that atmosphere in your home, yeah. Example, yeah. When you guys come to my crib, Danny's been to my crib. When you guys come to my crib, yeah, I'm already giving you a vibe in terms of how things are gonna go down in my crib.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? You come to my crib, there's music, I have food, I have all that stuff, yeah. you can't bring that energy to my house. I have to create that energy
very
to
true.
see how
That's
the
very,
energy
very true.
goes. The thing, yeah. If I come to your crib and your house is quiet, guess what I'm gonna do?
I'm
be quiet. I'm gonna
quiet.
say I'm gonna come. I'm gonna be quiet.
Yeah.
If I come to
That's
your
like
crib,
classical music on in
Yeah.
the background and
Bro,
that.
you know what I'm saying? But if I come into your crib and everyone's cracking jokes and everyone, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, I can be loose up in here. You get what I'm saying? And it's the same.
Straight away, everyone's too far. Put it away, man.
So it's the
Whoa.
same. It's just, it go,
Oh my gosh.
Whoa. Wait, can we zoom in on this?
but it's the same with the parents. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I don't think it's like we don't know how to raise you after 15. I think it's the fact that they never really ask you questions all the way through to make you comfortable. Yeah.
And it's also that the other side of it too. It's like sometimes you do have to try to create that environment
Yeah.
yourself as well.
Yeah.
Like introduce some kind of elements in. You know what I mean?
But-
Because it's
yeah.
a family. Each person has the responsibility to uphold that family, though, isn't it?
I feel like that's the thinking of parents that have created that thinking.
In terms of what?
Your parents have gone, this is a family and we all contribute and we all think.
Yeah, I know. There's that
You know what I
element
mean?
where it's like
Whereas
everyone,
because
nothing
I know
gets done.
families
Yeah.
out there that's like, it's not like that. It's like, I'm dad.
this is what-
and I do it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
But
whoa.
it's what I'm saying is more. It's not like, hey, we're gonna take out a loan. Do you think we should do it, son? No. Okay, fine. But it's like, but
PlayStation. Okay.
but I'm saying more like the parents have created the environment where the child knows their opinion is respected,
Yes.
and then if that's not exactly it, I can see how it's tough. If it's like your parents haven't created their environment, and then you're like, I want to try to speak up for some things
Yeah.
because now it's just a rift. It's
Yeah.
conflict.
Because,
You know,
because
heads
in,
will be rubbed.
in that case, it's almost like, you know, who told you have a voice?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Where'd you bring this from?
Yeah. So it's like I have to.
With Ja Rule things.
So, but it's like I have to tell you
Yeah.
that you have a voice in this house in order for you to come and say, "Hey, that this is what I've been thinking.
Yeah.
I think we should make this move." Because at the same time, you know, obviously now we're growing. We have big ideas in terms of, you know, we can move our family.
Yeah.
You know, we can change the direction of how our family is moving. Yeah. Like I'm changing the nutrition and the
Hello.
diet in my family, yeah. But if I don't have the voice, if my mom and dad say, you know, you don't have a voice, I'm not gonna come up with the idea to say, hey guys, I think we should change how we eat.
Shut up.
I eat what I want. That's what the friend is saying.
Bro, I know a family friend, his son was like, I'm going to go like keto diet, no carbs, whatever. First day, doesn't put any rice on his plate. His dad's like, what are you doing? So you've ate rice for 25 years.
But you get what I'm saying. But I think that's why we can see a lot of young people. I'm pretty sure like all these young people want to be close with their parents, man. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? Because when they see other parents with their kids, like, man, I wish like Loki, you know, like yeah, I love my mom. They know, you know, whatever. But it's like I wish,
Yeah.
that was me.
I guess like with what you were saying, well, it's like for you, because you don't even know what you potentially missed out on. Because it could be nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could have missed out on nothing by not consulting your mom or whatever. But it also could like but it doesn't at the same time it doesn't really matter anymore in a sense. But I don't know.
Like, do I feel like I'm missing out on?
I don't know, some source of wisdom or so. I don't even know. Because it's not really a thing to miss out on, but it is, but it isn't. I don't even know how to say
It's
it.
more like the experience, or
Yeah, maybe it's
Like
experience.
potential advice, or I don't know.
I mean, I guess so, because my mom does have like a lot of knowledge, and from where she's come from as well, like her upbringing and all that stuff. That's definitely things that I would have loved to hear about, even when I, you know, come to her and be like, oh, this is what's happening, or whether it's with uni, you know, I say that, oh, she doesn't know the uni system or how all of that
Right.
works because she hasn't been through it. But it's like, yeah, like you said, you know, from her upbringing and all that stuff, because she did go to school back in Africa. So it's like she could have, you know, given me some sort of knowledge to help me, even though it's not like something that's directly related to uni. It can still be, you know, something that could have helped me in whatever I was doing and stuff like that. I don't know. Like for me, my mom's also very like her mindset. She still has the cultural mindset, like the mindset of back home as well. Sorry, which is also sometimes
you gotta get her
hard.
advice when it comes to getting that dowry. Get your money up, girl.
what's wrong with you?
She knows
Get my money up.
She knows the way. What's
wrong with you?
She does know the way.
How did you up your
She-
price? How did you get it back?
What's wrong with him, bro?
How do I get him on my side
What?
to want it?
How do we turn this 80 to 100K?
100K.
Man, talking
Ow,
stock,
six
bro.
figures.
Investment,
Ow.
baby. I saw this post though it's about this. It says, "How old were you when you began seeing your parents as people and not as a parental entity? but as a person with needs, flaws, fears, weaknesses, vulnerabilities, dreams, etc. And then this,
Nah, like, keep going.
and then it's like I was in my 20s. That's what the end of the thing was.
I feel like I have this memory of when we were in Qatar. It's sad. Like, okay, it's either a dream that is so, you know, those dreams that's like, nah, this happened.
yeah.
It had to have happened.
You know, I'm always telling people, I'm pretty sure they remember have is in Nigeria, me and my dad skipping
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
I don't know if I don't think it happened. I actually don't think it happened. But it happened.
It might be a dream, eh?
So I remember we were in Qatar and my dad was napping. And like, cause you finish work around 3 there.
Yeah. Nice and hot too.
Yeah.
It's time for a nap.
So he like naps around 4 or something. I swear this happened. We were like, I was just like lying down on the bed next to him. I was a kid, and he like out of nowhere just starts crying. He's like, I want my mom.
I don't
Right,
think this
like he was like actually like sad.
Are you
about
sure
something.
this
yeah,
happened?
Yeah, like.
Yeah, have you brought this up?
I don't know. I don't know. I should ask him about it. But like, I'm pretty sure it's like, I want my mom, and it's just like frustrated with life kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was like the first time where I was like,
Oh snap.
whoa, you have a mom, bro.
Bro, even today, yeah, there was that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
that's not grandma, that's your mom.
Yeah. For you, yeah, that's not Graham. That's the person that raised you. Yeah, that's madness.
Like
yeah.
you, that other side, sorry, is like realizing like, but I don't know, they've never really told me. Mom told me a little bit, but it's like they've liked other people aside from each other, or like been
Yeah.
interested. I don't
What?
could have done a little madness. I don't know, but like, you know what I mean? It's like.
yeah.
Like they lived the whole
You
life.
almost
They
didn't marry
pretended to
mom.
live a life.
Like legit,
Remember
bro.
the story my mom told, bro? Oh man, it's too long, but same thing, yeah. But what was I gonna say, man?
It's actually crazy. I think like we kind of see the signs when we're growing up, but we don't
Understand it.
think about it yet.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think that the person says I was in my 20s. I think whoever says I was in my 20s, I think it's because you begin to experience it yourself now. Yeah, you begin to experience adulthood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like now you begin to experience a full-time job. You begin to experience paying for this, learn that, and then now you're thinking about it, you're like, oh snap! Like this is what my parents have been doing with 5 times extra on top.
Bro, I literally thought about that today. I was like, Dad and I driving down, whatever, and it's like, oh my gosh, you've been paying like mortgages
All
and
of
this
this,
stuff
yeah.
and like all these fees and all
Yeah.
this like bills, and I'm like, I'm really gonna do this one day, like fully, you know?
Bro,
Yeah,
I fully told my
serious.
dad, bro. So look, yeah, because we've been chatting and that, but I was like, yo, you might need to actually just write this down into a manual, a folder with colored binders, bro. No, I know pink equals mortgage,
No.
green equals.
I don't even know how to read it, bro. Record videos for me, yeah, and explain. This is a mortgage. This is how you pay it back.
This is how it goes. When the bank says this, you say this.
If they try to say this one, unless then this one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There's a tree, bro.
Yeah. I need the whole
It's a
diagram.
flowchart, bro. I hate it here. We need it, bro.
Give me out.
I did right now.
Okay. But, nah, it's madness, man. It's deep. There's a couple more things that we did have in line with this discussion. I know. What you guys saying? What are you saying, bro? What
Oh, maybe you could spend like another 5 minutes.
you saying?
How deep are we? How deep?
-8 now. We can't keep asking. We said we're not gonna keep asking this
Why
question. It's a nice little timestamp for the people listening. Like, oh snap! I really enjoyed these guys for a whole hour. Yeah.
One.
Well, okay. Anyways,
You're ruining
the
it.
jokes really are. You're ruining it. It was.
We should have that as a soundbite. Every time someone says how deep are we, you go.
You're ruining it. We might have to. One of the things we're going to bring up was actually kind of self-explanatory, to be honest, I reckon. But this is, bro, Instagram just gives mad life things because everyone's doing it life wrong. On IG. I'm not saying I'm doing it right, but it's just like we're all doing life wrong on Instagram, to be honest.
Sorry,
So
big
it just,
It's what I said. No one knows
yeah,
anything.
it's just bringing up all these topics, to be honest, man. So shout out IG. But okay, so I was looking at this Instagram. Someone put up a poll, on their Instagram, and it question said, okay, it was like, yo, currently, are you guys still wanting to have fun in your life, or are you trying to settle down? Yeah, those are the two questions
It
on
was
the poll.
crazy
Have fun.
because settling down sounds fun to me.
It actually does.
It actually does.
Low-key.
What?
Yeah.
The
A
cat.
bit low-key.
Children?
Oh my gosh, this guy every time.
I wanted to find a way to put it into the episode. Oh, whoa, whoa.
Whoa!
I mean,
Whoa. Anyways, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, so
you killed
are you
me,
guys
bruh.
either trying to settle down or still have fun? Yeah?
Yeah.
And then, so obviously people voted, whatever.
Trying
And
to
then-
have children.
You know what I'm saying? But then the comment that was made was like, afterwards, after the results came through or whatever, and then it was like, some of the people that voted for having fun are nearly 30. Yeah? That was the comment that was made. It's like, you guys still trying to have fun, but you're almost 30. And then in my head, I was like, okay, whoa. Damn, that's kind of mad that we've created this cutoff
Of 30.
of 30 as if your life is not settled now, if you're not together, oh my God, you're done.
See it.
Okay, so because I can see what your mind's thinking. So,
know why? 'Cause
what's up? What's on? Yeah, is there this cutoff? Does this exist? And then I think I had something else. The other question was, what other rules / expectations have we given ourselves that may not even be our own thing?
We're cut off to what?
to
Like, as in, you know how they always say you should have your life together by 30?
By
Like, your
30.
career should be on its path.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. And then,
I
but see, then you hear the other thing of that whole life starts at 40.
No, it doesn't.
You've heard that though, yeah?
yeah.
I haven't.
Why is it though that when we say settling down,
That's
it
boring.
can't- yeah, like it can't be fun as
Yeah.
well.
I
Like,
think it's perspective because people see like being wild. For example,
Mm.
because this is what I was thinking. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, you know how he doesn't date anyone over 24. Have you noticed that? It's like he'll date them until they're like. Someone did a whole chart about this. Like he'll
What?
date them at like 21,
Bro, Cat's got time to be
maybe 20,
investigating this.
maybe till yeah, like legit, bro. And it's all the same type of girl, like blonde hair, wavy, like whatever.
I really thought
very
Scout's the
attractive,
goat, bro.
Okay, so yeah, and so it's like all of them. It's like maybe 21, 22. You'll start dating them, have them for a couple months max until they're like 24,
Guy
25.
said
And
the
he's
new
like,
subscription, bro. What the heck?
legit. He said, I
That's
don't like
mad.
Netflix anymore. Give me Hulu.
That's madness,
Wow.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, because like for me, whenever I see that, I'm like, that doesn't like that
In your
is what
mind,
people
you-
go.
you-
He's having fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right?
But
Or,
then
like,
are you
Dan
also
Bilzerian
at the
and
same
those
time
guys.
equating irresponsibility as well?
I think that's what it is. It's like just not having responsibilities is fun because as soon as I have a baby, I can't
Yeah.
just go out whenever I
Yeah,
want.
yeah,
I can
that's true.
exactly something, but.
Wait,
I feel like because all this stuff has to stop at a point. Like, there's a point where it's like, okay, for example, you know Dan Bilzerian, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, isn't that the who thing was made after the movie?
Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah. Is
no,
it?
no, that was Jeremy something.
Okay, good chat.
No, Dan Bilzerian is the one that is a professional poker player, I think. And then, like,
There was a movie
he's
made
just
after
known
him,
for
though.
being around, like, hot girls and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I'm pretty sure the way he does it is he buys those girls around him, like, as in he rents them, essentially. Like, by
Madness.
bags and all that kind of
I
stuff.
know this guy.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's like 50 million followers or something like that. Yeah. And so the
30,
whole
30,
thing.
30.
All right. Well, it's not little. Yeah, but like the whole thing is like he's seen as like the ultimate. It's that whole Playboy lifestyle,
Yeah.
right? And it's
Literally every photo is cheeks.
bro, it's butt.
but yeah,
He do the thickest. But yeah, it's like that is seen as freedom and all that, and it's like it's actually not having responsibility, or it's being irresponsible. But it's also that lifestyle. It has to stop by like 70. Like you can't do that at 70. You can't be snorting lines and smashing cheeks and going raw and all this kind of behavior. You know, drinking
I
whatever
said
you want to
beer
drink.
back.
Like whoa.
but going back,
We did it.
but going back to the 30 cutoff. So again, they're referring to like Korea and all that stuff. Is that what they're
Korea,
referring to?
family.
Like just the whole
Everything,
thing.
yeah.
It should
marriage.
should be lining up.
But to be honest, I think they're saying 30 is the cutoff just because like
Because after 30, you're planning to be a
No.
stepdaddy.
no, because I think after 30 it's like it's a different life now. You get what I'm saying? It's
That
not.
meme is rude, bro.
Yeah, what was the meme? What was it? I'm trying to
It's
remember.
that one of the guy reading the books, like how to be a boyfriend
Oh,
after 25. Prepare
And
to
then the
be a
next page.
stepdad.
Yeah.
I think someone said that, but yeah,
You down. Yeah, go.
nah, group chat.
You
but,
said that to us.
Yeah, I said, did I say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
but no, because I think like after 30 it's a different type of lifestyle now. You get what I'm saying?
Okay, but why is it a different type of lifestyle?
Just because
Who said
of
it's a different type of
because
lifestyle?
age, because
So what is the age equal at
this is
that
what
point?
it is, yeah. For me, it'd be kind of weird. It'd be kind of weird if after 30 you're trying to
Yeah.
figure out what you're
What you're doing.
what you're trying to do. It's
But
like
why?
you had all these years. What were you doing?
I think
Having fun.
no,
No.
Okay, but now you're saying that you're not having fun.
No,
wait,
I'm not talking
Silly,
about having.
though.
No, I'm not talking
Forget
about
that,
having.
forget
No,
that,
no,
forget
I'm not talking about that fun. I'm talking about career stuff. Yeah, what were you doing when you after finish high school? That's what I'm saying. You had like 10 years.
How
yeah?
much fun were you having?
10
that
years.
You forgot to prepare anything.
10 years.
Okay, so do people get a
Go.
Do people get a pass if, let's say, hardship was equated in the situation, things were put on pause, etc.,
No one's saying
etc.?
that 30. If it's not by 3-0, the second you get out of here.
Okay.
No one's saying that.
When you all right, since you went with the career thing, let's go with that.
Okay.
When you say you're 30 and you haven't established your career, what kind of career are we talking about? Because there are people who have jobs, like stable jobs, fine jobs.
Yeah.
But they're not like, it's not something that they have to do research on or work on. It's
No,
literally, I have a job.
that's fine.
And it's paying for my
like,
well-being,
you
know?
I mean, that's
stable.
that's
But
enough.
that's like, as in, that's a responsibility. I have a job that I must attend, that I
Yeah.
must, you know what I mean? That's fine.
Yeah, but for me, it's just more like, well,
But also, sorry, I feel like if you want a fulfilling life, you need a job that is gonna, because you're gonna spend a third of your life at work,
Yeah.
right? So you need something
That's
that
what-
you
yeah.
are.
What
working on
annoyed me
something
is that you live a third of your life is sleeping.
Get out of here.
So that's why I only sleep for 5 hours. Just saying.
Like,
make the most out of life. Make the most out of life.
like it's
It's legit.
stupid.
It is a third of your life. So that's why I don't sleep for 8 hours. I'm not doing that. No way. Not me.
But anyways,
me.
but yeah, it's almost like, well, you know,
Could it be me?
Couldn't be me.
before 20, I understand. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then now 20 to 30, bro, that's a 10-year gap.
You know what, before
You have
20
to figure something out between
That's
them.
prime
Dude said
time
figure
though. Like
something out.
for a lot of people, that's from 20 to 30. 20 and younger, you're young. You're not even able
That's
to
what
do a
I'm
lot
saying.
of
Even that,
things.
it's like society has mapped out your first 18 years anyway.
Literally.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's like
Exactly.
you're gonna
It's crazy as
You're
well,
at
huh?
school.
Legit. That's
Yeah.
it. You're spending
All the
this time at
time.
school
my
or
God.
at home or at sports. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. And so now it's like when you go into your 20s, you literally have the freedom. You're at uni, you're either working at uni, traveling, whatever it is. So now it's like you get to actually fully live. And also for a lot of people, you're not under your parents' like supervision as much as you were when you were younger. So it's like now you literally have the freedom to do whatever you want. So sometimes I'm like, from 20 to 30, live your best life.
It also,
Like,
because I was gonna
do
say, it
what
also
you
is.
want.
my
It
best
also,
life.
I ain't going back and forth with you. It also is crazy, yeah. How
You're ruining it.
for 20 years, we'll just say, I'm just gonna round it up, round numbers now, yeah. So for 20 years,
Mathematician.
mathematics, quick maths. 20 years, you've been told what to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
10 years between 20 and 30, you're now figuring yourself out.
Yeah.
So out of that 30-year lifespan, 2/3 of it has been spent being told what to do, and now for the third, you're figuring
figuring
out.
out yourself.
But you've been given the building blocks to be able to do so.
Yeah, I
right?
think 2/3 of
Generally.
it is like you were told what to do, but the first like
third. You
8
went-
of
you
it
couldn't do anything.
effectively you were just pooping your own pants. you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
not like
But then again, now it's like there is a rapid growth and
can you imagine like a kid poops himself and you're like, work it out.
figure it out. Come on, cuz. But it's true. In that, let's say the breaking it up into thirds. in that
You see that meme today? That was like this week is like animals be 20 minutes old and know what to do.
Yeah, bro, it's true. Bro, the horse comes out, my guy walking.
Say walk. All right. All right, yeah,
That's
keep going.
madness,
man.
bro.
But maybe that even works in this analogy, bro. Like there's that rapid thinking in that second third potentially, where it's like you're figuring out a lot of things
that's what
very
you're meant to
quickly.
do.
So it's
That's
like,
what you're
sure,
meant to
for
do.
a third you couldn't do anything, but in the second third you're now able to do a lot, and you're
Getting
figuring
there.
it out
Right,
quickly. Yeah.
In your 10, you know, career pathways, they begin to, if you focus, if you listen, yeah, you know, you'll be exposed to, you know, university students, TAFE students, everyone comes in. But a lot of us just muck around during those times because
And
we
so,
don't
oh,
listen
where did
to.
you apply? I didn't apply anywhere.
I
Oh,
don't
last
know.
minute calls.
Yeah.
My story.
But then that's why, like, when you get to year 12, some people are like doing some university experience, and you're like,
Yeah.
bro, how'd you get there? It's like, bro, I've been doing this since year 10. And you're like, I didn't know that was possible. Man, you weren't listening. You're like,
You know how shocked I was when we were in year 12? One of the guys was doing a unit of university accounting.
Yeah.
I was like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's always an option. Like if you just score well and like 1,000.
bro, even.
Like, so
Bro,
prerequisites. for
I'm not gonna lie, even accelerate is something I didn't even know. Like, Daddy was doing biology 11. I was in the 10. I was like, boy, how'd you do that?
you know, Daddy's like most of us are. And he's like, huh.
The crazy thing is, in that instance,
tell
it's like
me.
I'm still dead ass doing the year 10 subjects. Would you be like, so you didn't skip the year, but you're
Bro, I was like,
what are you doing?
I was doing some madness, bro. I was like, what, brother? What you
Trying to figure out the maths in
bro,
that.
I was asking, how'd you do it, bro?
So like, okay, so now like what would you think?
You ruined the
if-
laugh. No, jokes.
You ruined it.
Y'all were dragging it. All right.
let's hear it.
So yeah, for someone who's in their 30s and now they're like, okay, I want to figure out my
Yeah,
career
nah,
path.
I
I want to
think-
figure out my
not too-
family
it's never
stuff.
too late.
Like what's
I
never
think,
too late.
I think what it is whatever situation you're in is the situation you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
but you're gonna blame them if
No, no.
they live their 20s to 30s.
No, but if
doing-
someone's in front of me right now and they're 20 years old, what I'm gonna tell them is, I wish when I was 20 I would have done this. I think it's a better idea than doing that. I think you shouldn't go out and spend your money at restaurants so much.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
No, like legit, like even like on weekly things. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
Nah,
as
with
in the
you.
little.
Yeah.
I'm out. Let me just get a little something from the bakery. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like that.
Bruv.
That adds
Bro,
up.
bro, we
adds up.
go
It
out for dinner.
does.
Hey, yo, guys feeling like a bit of dessert? It's $30 at Pancake Parlor. What? Come on. That's crazy. You know that's us. But like, I was even going to say, because I had that other question of, actually, real quick, because you did ask a nice question about, what are you going to say to that person in that instance that is in front of you?
Yeah, like if that's your situation, that's your
Yeah,
situation.
it's
but,
like-
but now don't waste it.
Yeah,
Now
there's-
don't waste it because time's getting precious.
Yeah.
There's that element of now don't waste it, because you have today, regardless of whatever has happened in your life, you have today, you have to utilize today for your tomorrow. Yeah. But then there's also the element of, you do have to kind of say, you don't make someone feel bad for it, but it's like,
That wasn't worth it.
respect. You have to respect the fact that you could have probably
you could've-
utilized
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Because it's different. Some people will have that fun, and then 30, they launch the business
The-
idea.
the-
Now what are you gonna say?
The way I look at it is
What are
like,
you gonna say to them?
in honesty, yeah.
It also depends on what you want.
Exactly, as well.
Sorry, keep going.
Nah.
We all got something to say.
saucy, bro. I feel like obviously, the first 10 years is whatever, yeah. But I feel like, 20 to 30, there's something that you're meant to do. You get what I'm saying? You're meant to kind of figure it out. 30 to this, there's always that you're meant to do this between this age gap.
But it
Yeah?
comes back to this thing of what you want to do, because some people's like, I'm just gonna take the framework that's being laid out for me
Yeah.
and just do that.
But
But
I
I
thi-
don't even want to think more than I need to.
But
for
I
some of these
think,
things.
that's fair enough. But I think like from this gap to that gap, there's something that you're meant to do within that gap. Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, now you're 40. You're gonna do the catch-up game now. You're gonna do things in your 40s that you should have done in your 30s.
I think it's really
You get
hard.
what I'm
I
saying?
think it's really hard to be, so upper class kids will not often be in these situations, right? Because their parents are going to give them contacts, they're going to give them this, they're going to give them whatever.
Yeah.
Most lower class kids, unfortunately, you might be in a cycle, but the ones that desire something are going to desire hard. Middle class is where it gets sticky, right? Because
playing both games.
it's like life's good. It could be better, but it's good, right? And so you get complacent and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And that is the one where I'm like, it's really hard, because middle class is the one where you will take the harshness of the system the most, right? Like it will disservice you the most. Like if you're lower class,
The
the
disservice
taxes of the
has
middle
been-
class
yeah.
is for you. You know what I mean? It's there to help you, all that kind of stuff. If you're upper class, you're not paying taxes. You found a way around
That's
it.
the thing,
Right?
bro.
So all this other stuff is coming out of the middle class. So you're 80K a year, right? Or 90K a year. That is going to effectively be 60K because you don't know how to work around your taxes. And if you have that mentality,
You know,
well,
you
I'm
did
just
negative
gonna,
gear
I'm just
and
going
that.
to do what life is. Yeah. I don't want to give it away. But like, if you're just like, oh, I'm going to be on the path that's set out kind of thing, right? Like the
Yeah.
blueprint that's there.
Yeah.
That 90K is now 60K.
Yeah, that's
whatever.
actually madness,
That's a crazy
But then
position to
for
be
like
in.
all the, like how crazy is this? You might 90K, you might pay 30K in tax, and then the guy that's earning 500K might pay 30K in tax as well because he worked out a better way to.
That's
to
actually
spread
crazy. Every
what-
time I think about that, like you hear 80K, you're kind of nice, but
Yeah.
then now
it's not that much.
after tax, you're like,
As in the system's
Bad, bro.
hurtful, especially
Yeah.
if you're in the
Yeah.
middle class.
That is facts, man. I do. That is a very interesting thing as well. It's like, you have that level where, you can try to achieve and strive, but then it's like, let me just cool it because
Settle. Yeah.
this is normal. But that's wild, man. That it's because now it's like you're taking the risk for that better, which I mean, every risk for something good is worth it.
Yes.
In the hopes of trying to get that thing. But it's mad how it's like the punishment that you get from that failing is so much worse from someone who is like, they're just shooting a long shot, a blind, an arrow in the dark, and then you know what I mean? If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'm still in my trash situation. It is what it is.
yeah.
But-
Going back to your original question about
Yeah.
like the cutoff at
Cut off.
30.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I think obviously there's certain things that I think there's definitely certain things that's a cutoff. Yeah.
I was gonna say fertility and that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
kind of why I
Fertility.
see for women why there's it's crazy because there's that pressure. Get married. Where's that man? Where's Mr. Right? You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
like I can see how that hurts. it sucks that there is that kind of biological clock in that instance where that pressure is a lot heavier.
You know what's
what I mean?
crazy though is because we're in a society now where having a kid at 30 is pretty standard. I think 28 is the average age
Yeah.
that people start having kids, right? But it's like society traditionally, and I'm talking like 1,000 years ago, whatever, 12, 13 get married.
Yeah, that's mad.
Right?
Like man,
And so this is the whole thing. Like that's why, like, especially with Christian singles, yeah, like especially when you're hitting 40 or something like that. I'm
judgment
like,
in that,
it
yeah.
really is. It's hard, like your purity aspect, because you've been with these urges for like 25 years, longer than you didn't have them, right? But if you get married at like 13, yeah. You're not even really having these urges
Yeah,
for another
yeah,
2
yeah.
years.
Yeah.
All right. And
Bro,
then
it's
you're like,
crazy that
okay,
that
let's
was
have
society.
kids. So
Yeah.
imagine you start having kids at 15. Right?
That's
it's
wild.
like, or even then if you're a late married and you get married at 20, in that context,
In that context as well.
your
Hey.
body clock's still good.
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah.
But now it's like 25 and 30 is a big difference.
This is an interesting question, but it might have to be expanded on, and maybe we're not the experts to
Yeah.
talk about it. But
We need to get a medical person at some point.
why are we
That'd be
lacking?
good.
Why are we lacking, bro? We might have to for this, but I was going to talk about maybe even a sociologist in this instance because I want to ask, have we done a disservice to society for prolonging the No, for prolonging the infancy period and the dependency. Because if
yes,
you
yes.
look at the animal, like you said, the horse comes out, my guy running.
Bro, I saw a
My
video
guy's
of
Meg the
a
Stallion.
giraffe giving birth. Have you seen a giraffe give birth, bro? They literally
No.
just they pull the thing out the mom. The mom's still standing, yeah?
Yeah.
Boom, on the ground. the guy just kind of comes out the sack. Like,
My guy
"Alright,
says,
let's
I
go."
woke up like this, bro.
Legs a little shaky for the first 2 minutes.
The guy did this. My name is James, bro.
Okay, you really did. Hey, yo, battery's about to die. We're gonna have to wrap this
All
thing
right,
up.
let's wrap it up then.
Yeah,
wrap
but
it up,
the question
wrap
I
it
was gonna say we should probably ask someone is: have we done a disservice to society by making this period longer? You know what I mean?
Longer,
Yeah, it's a very
Yeah.
good question.
But we'll talk about it another
All
time.
right, thank you for
doctor.
joining us for
Wait,
another
yeah.
episode of the Disruption Podcast.
Anything we need to say?
Juicy.
Catch you guys in the next episode.
All right, catch you on the next episode of Disruption Podcast.
Hey,
Peace,
we
love y'all.
out.
Yeah.
Peace and love, yo. Look after yourselves.